Are live here on International Women's Day, where I have had the blessing of meeting with 9 creatives from Ghana about what International Women's Day means to all of us. What does it mean to do this thing together? What does it mean to bridge the gap? How do we actually do that? We do that through this thing working. This internet has tried me today, but I will not be moved. I see my special guest has come on this live. We've been in and out of this, but I have a special guest for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Not only have you seen her all over movies and television shows, and she's always empowering those who she is speaking with. She is a force to be reckoned with. My sister, who is also now your sister, for all of you who are logging on live from Ghana. I've been waiting for this moment to have you on.
Can you
Oh
see
my
me?
goodness, sister. You know, yes, and you have to lower
Okay,
your
wait, hold
camera so
on.
we
Let
can
me,
see your
how about I gotta
beautiful
lift
face.
myself up and lower the camera? Let me see. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that. Oh, it went to the
How about,
side.
wait,
There you
I'm
go.
just gonna
Okay,
hold
pretty
it. How about
girl.
that? Because I have
How?
it on tripod. Is that better? Okay.
That's perfect right there. I've been talking so much in these last couple of hours to all the ladies of Ghana, but now I'm talking to another lady of
Can
Ghana. We got to get
you
right to
believe
that
it?
off the top. It is International Women's Day, and honey, you yourself are international. Tell us how. Tell us why.
I
Tell
mean,
us
how
all the
much time
things.
do
Oh
we
my
have? This
goodness.
is gonna be like part one, part two, girl. Because can I tell you? I
I
mean, first of all, it starts from the beginning because I've been speaking fluent French since I was little. Um, and so that led me to, as I grew up, I wanted to learn more about that part of my family and that part of my history. And so I had never been to Europe. Like when I left college, I'd never been to Europe. I went to Paris and I thought, okay, this is cool. But now I met a lot of French speaking Africans when I was in Europe. And they were like, you got to go to Africa. You got to go to Africa. And I was like, okay. And I listened to the language from them. It was like music. And so I said, you know what? One
wow.
day I want to go. And I never lost it, into the desire. And so then I was going through a breakup, and my birthday's at Christmas and New Year's. And I was tired. Yep. I was tired
Oh,
of wanting to be in a relationship that God wasn't giving me. And so you know what? If you're not going to give
mm,
me a companion, give me everything new. I want new language, new food, new clothes, new smells, new currency, new music. I want to just wake up and be so distracted by so much new, you
but
know, that I'm not worried about,
yes.
the nigga from Atlanta. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let's be honest. I was like, I want a new level of new. And and I gotta tell you, as an actress,
Okay.
I've been so blessed to travel and work with different people and meet different people. But at that point in my life, I just was like, you know what? I really want a degree of new. I'd never been to Africa. And so it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm going. And when I went, my complete life, spirit, body, hair, skin, everything elevated. No lie. Everything elevated. And so, I just felt like I started answering a call on my life, to serve in Africa. And it wasn't necessarily just Ghana. It was, Ghana was my gateway to Africa. But then I started working with the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. And my relationships there led me to Senegal and then Gambia and Cote d'Ivoire. And so I was living in Africa during the pandemic. And that's the other thing. During the
Wow.
pandemic, when LA shut down, I was like, I can't do this. I need water, I need hikes, I need connection. And so I first went to St. Thomas for 3 months. And then St. Thomas shut down. And I was
Wow.
like, and I could not get into
Okay.
Africa because the borders were closed. So I left St. Thomas and went to Cabo. Cabo was letting us in. So I was like, great, I'm going to Cabo. So if you hear this
Okay.
international thing was all over me anyway, right? Just the food, the music, people. I just loved learning different cultures, experiencing different cultures. And so by the time Africa's borders opened, I think it was like September 2020, September 2020, I said, I'm going to stay as long as I can to see what it would be like to really be here. And LA never opened. So I was in Africa from September 2020 to July of 2021. And I was serving.
Wow.
I was an ambassador for a children's hospital, still am. Started working with Village of Hope, which is one of the orphanages in Accra, Ghana, still am. And I just said, you know, I learned the protocol of what it's like to be an American in Africa. And I said, but you know, I'm learning that I'm African.
Mm-hmm.
I was taken from here, you know?
Yes.
I was like, I learned I was taken from here. It wasn't my choice to not be here.
Wow.
And so
you're gonna make me cry.
I started to try to live what that was like. And I just told myself, you know, you're not African American. You're an African in America.
Oh, first of all, you have not even been on my live. But when I tell you, I've told all 9 women, I don't call myself, I literally said those words. I am not African American. I am an African who happens to live in America. I need people to know that there's that spirit right there. Because you just said the same exact words I've been saying all day.
No,
I know you have not been
you saw me run, jump on.
No, yes. I'm just like, come on, this is the truth. We didn't ask to be here.
And so I just decided if God would give me the chance, I would live a life that demonstrated that I was African, that just happened to work and visit, actually, America. And so people ask me now, you know, the dual citizenship now, and just so people know, it now makes me, I mean, I have access to the whole continent. Although I'm a citizen of Ghana, I can travel the continent as if I never left. And that makes me choke up, because the freedom that it gives me to know that I'm not stuck in America, the freedom that it gives me to know that I can travel, I can leave when I want America, go to Africa. I don't have to wait 3 days for a visa. I don't have to pay $150 to get in the country. I can go, and that's home. That's now home. Just like everybody has a U.S. passport because we're citizens, I have now an African passport that allows me to reside and be in Ghana and the whole continent.
I mean, that just means so much to me, because when my feet hit the soil the first time, back in 2015 was the first time I went to Africa. I was there teaching acting. And that's what I love about our craft, number one. Our craft just allows for all of these opportunities and experiences that you just can't even fathom. But I went there for a month. I was in Botswana teaching. And I asked God that year, every year I have a set of things I ask God for. I said, God, in 2015, I want to speak 3 times internationally. And then it became December, and I got this opportunity to go to Botswana. And when I got there, and I said, well, you know, I guess 1 out of 3 is not bad. I did ask God to speak 3 times. And my girlfriend said, well, you weren't specific enough, because you did speak 3 times internationally. I said, I did. She said, you spoke to 3 different audiences while you were in Botswana.
See?
And I said, I never saw it that way. You guys, we have to be so specific and so Ginsu knife with what we're asking God for, because he's yet doing it right in front of us all the time. But because we don't really ask and really like hone down on what we're asking for, it'll be right there in front of us. So I know when I visited Ghana, I said, there's something, I feel something here. And it
think it's still on for me. Brely's gonna have to come on. I'm gonna answer a couple questions because I see you guys asking questions. And hopefully Brely will come back in. To be a citizen in Ghana, typically you have to live there for at least 5 to 10 years, create some type of business or give back to the country in a way that the government feels like, you know, you should be a part of it. And so it was really a surprise to me that I was given citizenship, because I discovered Ghana 5 years ago, and I've been back and forth, but I don't live there full time. But the work that I've been doing in terms of tourism, economic development, philanthropy, education. There's different pillars that Ghana, as well as the the United States Embassy in Ghana, operates under. And I tried to create projects under all of those pillars. So I believe, and I mean, I have to ask them, you know, what made them think I was worthy, but I'll say that I believe they saw me working, really trying to be a part of the country and really trying to give from my heart and soul to the country. There she is. You're back.
We had an Amber Alert. I'm here in Dallas, and there's a big Amber Alert happening. So they overtake your phone to let everybody know what's going on. There's been a child abduction. So blessings, ears up for whatever's going on. So my phone.
I don't know if
I'm
you
back.
can even hear, but while you were
please.
gone, I was explaining, because I saw a couple of questions. What does it take to get citizenship? And so while you were gone, temporarily, I was explaining what it typically takes for citizenship. But what I said, I think amens what Brely is saying in terms of be specific, you know, Ginsu knife specific. I love that. With your prayers and what you're asking for, because what I asked for was easier access to Africa. I asked for more reason to be in Africa. I prayed for more provision for a lot of the projects I want to do, never understanding that the provision and the access that God was going to grant me was citizenship. Do you understand? So, you know, I thought it was going to be a couple more plane tickets a year. You know what I mean? God was like, yeah, no, queen, I got you. I got your back, for real, for real.
And isn't that just like him? Because he says, you can't even imagine what I have for you. You have these big dreams. You think, oh, just a couple more times I can go there. He's like, oh, no, honey, I will make you one of them. I will make you, you know, get back to your roots and take you to,
I mean,
you know,
even
your home.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I don't know when you first got to Ghana, your first visit. I don't know if I told you this, but even to go to Africa, outside of the running from the breakup and trying to heal, I had been praying for expanded territory. And again, I thought that meant possibly like a national franchise of a wellness center, because I have a studio here in LA, the AJ Zone. But I thought when I said expanded territory, I would have been amazing and fine with more of a franchise across the country thing, because so many people were hitting the website, so many people were stopping me as I traveled, and I said I have to expand how I deliver my healthy living and how I deliver what people are asking me for. Never even realizing, girl, never even realizing that expanded territory would turn into the continent of Africa. So just understand, and I want everybody on here to understand. So now, in this third month starting of 2023, I am now a dual citizen of the United States and Ghana, but I work in Gambia, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and possibly in the next few months, I'll be adding Kenya to that. So this is all God assignment. I'm just being obedient to the call on my life. And what you're watching, if you're watching, and hopefully you are, you're watching me answer the call.
So tell me, how has your celebrity helped you move, you know, these opportunities going back and forth between the two? Like, have you say that I'm so glad that my pillar has been like the acting and entertainment industry, because you can now translate that to what you're doing to, you know, further, you know, your stance in Africa? Like, would you say it was the entertainment that has done that for you? And how can
that's a really good question, because to be really, really honest, I haven't even started work in the entertainment sector in Africa. It's been mostly philanthropy and mostly, you know, my heart and soul's work, just getting to know the countries, getting to know the people, bonding. I have gone to Africa, and this is my 5th year since I discovered the continent. And I always lead with the spirit of teach me. So it hasn't been, you know, me trying to go and teach acting class and all of that. It has been, let me learn what you need. Let me learn what you know. Let me learn how you guys move. And then let's see how we can bridge. So my organization is called The Bridge to Better. So everything I'm doing is some form of bridging. Again, whether it's food, music, dance, conversation, learning our histories. And see, that's the other thing that a lot of us Americans don't realize, is that the Africans who were not abducted and taken to another country, they don't know the whole story of how we know it as abducted African Americans. So to be in Africa, having conversations over dinner and learning that our recollection of our history is completely different. It's, you know, it's funny how, you know, I don't know if you've ever had this like with a cousin or a friend from high school. You finally have a conversation and realize that after 20 years, you're now adults. You had a misunderstanding all along. All along.
All along. Yeah. And you're like, what kept us apart? And then it was something so trivial. And literally, if we had a conversation,
and that's the thing. I mean, even that, it's like yeah. The conversations that we have not yet had with our brothers and sisters on the continent. And I'm glad that God is choosing me and using me to be a vessel to initiate and pioneer, if you will, a lot of those conversations, whether they're entertainment based, whether, you know, yeah,
or just
yeah,
based.
Yeah.
It sounds like life based. And the reason why I mention entertainment like that is because I know we shape a lot of views through what we do. We can tell stories in such a not an in your face way that people can watch a movie and say, oh, now I have a better understanding as to why, you know, they move the way they do. You know what I mean? Or, you know, because people say, hey, you know, Americans, or we have the takeover spirit. We want to come and just do it our way. It's not that. We just want to, we have the ability to think a little faster and move a little more strategic, and we want to share those things, not just do it. You know, we want to share it. And I think that that's completely amazing. I was speaking to some of the people on my live were saying earlier, as I'm talking to all of those ladies, they're like, I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Africa. And I said, well, December is the time to go. Tell them why December is the time. Not because it's both of our birthdays and all. But why is December
I'm going to be
to
honest.
go?
I keep saying that like I'm going to be something else. You know, well, one of my divine assignments, and one of the things that I'm actually helping Ghana Tourism with, is to help people understand that Ghana is amazing a lot of different times of the year. December has been the jump off because I fortunately was part of the Full Circle Festival, which was when, you know, the first group of celebrities went for the Year of Return. And that has become the big thing, that every December we celebrate the Year of Return. And that's why so many people from the diaspora across the world come back to Ghana, because that's our root and it's the motherland for a reason. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of other African countries that are also doing years of return events around the year. So part of the reason why I may be going to Kenya soon is because they're trying to launch a year of return for themselves as well. And the same thing with Gambia. You know, Gambia is one of the closest slave ports to the United States. Ghana's not really the closest. Gambia is. And so Gambia and Senegal. And I didn't know that until I had visited Gambia and Senegal. So there's a lot of times to go, depending on what your choice is of why you want to go to Africa. But I have a rebirth retreat that we're going into our third year that runs from December 27th to January 7th. And it's basically, we party, so you don't miss that part. We party the year out that we're saying bye to, and then we embrace the new year with who God is calling us to be as we enter this new year, learning our history, releasing a lot of whatever did not work the year before, asking the ancestors to cover us and whatever we don't know yet that's going to move us forward. And if you haven't seen any of the clips and the footage that I've been posting on the ajzone.com here the AJ Zone here on Instagram, please take a look, because people, we're almost sold out for 2023, 24 just from the clips I'm posting on Instagram, because people are like, oh my God, I gotta go. And so that's the main reason why December is big, December, January. But there's Panifest in July. There's Emancipation Day, which is July, August. The true African Emancipation Day in Ghana. There's a whole lot. I mean, Easter is one of the biggest festivals in Ghana. So depending on when you have time, kids out of school, vacation, whatever it is, I say don't just try to get to Ghana in December. I mean, I'd love to have you. I'm not saying don't come to me. Love to have you.
Yes.
But unselfishly,
Right.
I want you to get to Africa and discover the homeland and the continent for yourself whenever you can do that.
I mean, there's no better way to close this conversation but with that, because just knowing, first of all, I have videos and pictures of us when we were over there together. What are the chances?
Oh my God.
God is so strategic with how he moves us. what are the chances that I get there and I walk in and it's AJ?
And again,
what?
No. And that's
Can't make
why,
it.
to me, you know, when you pay attention to how God moves in your life, and you pay close attention to the small yeses, I call them God dots. I don't know what the outcome is for you and I in this international space. But what I do know for sure is that there's something strategic and intentional that God is doing with you and I to have us there. I mean, it just doesn't, it makes no logical sense. It's got to be spiritual, because it makes no logical worldly sense that we would both be in Ghana, you know, at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense. So the fact that it makes no logical worldly sense means it makes complete godly spiritual sense to me. And so, you know, we journey each day saying yes to what the possibilities could be. And that's pretty much how I try to live my life. It's like, let me pay attention to the God yeses and journey each day saying yes to the possibilities.
If you guys didn't get anything else from these lives today, I hope you got that. I hope you got that. I hope you say yes to the God yeses in your life. They will move you around the world, literally. And so I just tell you, go get your passport. Even if you don't have any, you're like, well, I really don't have money yet. Don't worry about the money. The resources will appear. I need you to walk it out. That's why my company is called Water Walkers. I need you to go and get your passport. Do what you can do in this day to move you forward to the opportunity of seeing where
and
you are from.
I want to throw this out. I know our time is running short, but I just want to say this real quick. I find a lot of people hit me and talk to me about how expensive and how inconvenient they feel like it is. It's a long flight. And I just want to say, you know, I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I had never been to California when I went to Spelman, when I got to Spelman in Atlanta. And that 4-hour flight that is now nothing from Atlanta to California used to feel like, ooh. And then all of a sudden the 10-hour flight from New York to Africa used to feel like, woo. And now I take a flight where I sleep the flight, and when I wake up, I'm 30 minutes from Ghana. So I'm listening to what you're saying, B, and I just want to reiterate that, you know, the expense, which I hope to change as well, is leaving the US for Africa. Once you get to Africa, it's not expensive. But here it's the vaccinations, it's the airfare, it's the hotel. But once you get there, it's like Shangri-La. It's like you've met the Wizard of Oz. So save your money. No, I'm serious, you know? So save your money. You know, stop buying shoes, stop buying bags, stop spending so much money at happy hour, you know? A night at Cheesecake Factory will take you or yeah. It's like the money you spend in the Cheesecake Factory at happy hour, that's gonna get you 3 days in Ghana.
Come on. I mean, she just said a whole word. Thank you, AJ. It means the world to me that I have your yes. I honor you. I respect you. I've looked up to you for a year. Before I even was an actress, I've been a fan of yours. I never decided to be an actress till somebody
Amen.
later in years told me I should. So I've been watching you for so long, and just to see your beautiful self who never ages. I need y'all to hear me. She never ages, number one. And the way God is expanding your territory, I'm just in awe of your life, and it gives me something to strive towards. And I honor you. I sit at your feet, and I'm just grateful that you said yes today. And every day I talk to you, I just honor
you know,
you.
stay rested, because
that.
You know, tired ain't in God's vocabulary. So stay rested, stay ready. Y'all stay rested and stay ready, because when God says move, you got to move just like that.
Just like that. Thank you so much. I love you.
At the Agent Zone, and let's go to Ghana.
Let's go to Ghana.
Love you.
December 23. Love you. Okay, as AJ clicks off, you guys, this has been a fantastic day. Again, we have connected with 9 actresses in Ghana today. We have met them, learned a little bit more about what they want to do, what's going on in Ghana, some of the same things that are going on here, that it's not that much different. How grateful am I for all of their yeses. I think we have one last person we're going to have on today. I'm going to introduce to you the Vice President of the African American Association of Ghana. What? how can I do that? I'm so grateful for my team. I have to give it up to Bond. Thank you for what you do. I'm thanking you in advance for bridging the gap, doing what you do to make sure that we are all connected, that those of us in the diaspora are connected with our sisters and brothers on the continent. It doesn't get better than this. Like, it doesn't get better than this. If some people, I'm afraid to go to Africa, I'm afraid to do. I've gone and come back. I went in the midst of the pandemic. My parents were like, are you crazy? Yes, I am. I literally went to Ghana in the middle of all that was going on with COVID, and God kept me and protected me and brought me back. Okay, her page. Okay, the request has been sent. It hasn't arrived. Oh, and I think I know why. Because it didn't have her full name there, but I decoded it. It said A. Croter. I got to know who that was. I see you now. I see you now. I see you now. Oh, my. And you have one of my favorite phrases about your name. I do a mastermind. I have a whole section of my company that is called Mastermind Conversations, because you know what it is? We want to connect with the mind for us. We want his desires to be our desires in our life.
I love it.
Can I just say thank you? Thank you for being here. I can barely hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. Now I can hear you. Tell me where you are, what exactly you do, sister.
No worries. Thank you for having me. I am currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm up late, but I live in Accra, Ghana. I've been in Ghana for 3 years. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I'm a Howard, Bison, HBCU Proud ×3 schools. Xavier, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Howard, right? So I also was in Ghana during the pandemic. I used to go for December in Ghana as a break from America because it got crazy in DC and around the world. And I needed a relief. So for years, almost 3 or 4 years, I would just go to Ghana for 45 days. It was a part of my contract at my job. Like, I was like, y'all don't have to pay me, but you gotta let me go. And when I come back, my job still has to be here. Okay, thanks. So
come on. I talked about being specific.
And it worked. It worked. And the last year that I was there was during COVID. I was working remotely, and I realized America was failing, capital F. And I'm in healthcare. By trade, I'm a physician assistant, but I do healthcare administration and all kinds of healthcare things and genetic stuff. So I'm like a medical geek, right? And I'm looking at America from Ghana, and I'm like, yeah. Nah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it right. And we ended up extending December stay, and then extending it again to February because we're supposed to come back in January. We were like, we're just gonna do Black History Month in Africa. Hey, then we realized they don't have Black History Month. They don't have it in Africa because they don't need it in Africa because everybody Black. So we were like, oh, y'all don't celebrate every day. We're gonna celebrate anyway because we need a reason to stay.
Okay.
So we moved. So, you know.
I'm the vice president of the association that, bridges Americans in
AAG, the African American Association of Ghana, is an organization that's been in existence for over 30 years. Who knew? It used to be... It started out as a support group for the American wives of the diplomats and the political people. So those who had American wives that were in Ghana back 30 years ago needed some support. So they created this system, almost like a support group. That's the best way to call it. And it just supported those African Americans living in Ghana for whatever they needed. 30 years fast forward, we are no longer just a wives club. We have families, we have singles, we have professionals, we have entrepreneurs, we have so many different types of African Americans that have settled and chose to be in Ghana. Whether it's for a short period of time, whether it's for work, whatever the call may be, our ancestors are choosing us to come back now. And it's important that we unite and plan and organize and figure out what's going on the ground and get the heads up so you don't have to have mistakes, right? You can learn from other people's mistakes and lessons So it's all about the support that we need, because this is our motherland. Yes, but we are new to it, unfortunately, because we were stripped from it. So we must know that it's always good to listen to those that have been through things, that have been there. And that's what AAAG is. It's a support program, an organization. We meet every third Sunday of the month, no matter where you are. If you fall into Ghana on that, like church, remember church? You go to church on third Sunday.
Yeah. You know, I know. I'm a like,
my granddad,
I grew up
pastor, so
sleeping
third Sunday
in
is something. So
that
every
part,
third
girl. You know,
Sunday of the month, we meet at W.E.B. Du Bois Center. That is in the heart of Accra, right by the U.S. Embassy. It's very easy to get to from wherever you may be staying in Accra. And just come out and say hi. We have membership.
so do you guys fly in
So
once a month to do
so
that?
we have over 7,000 African Americans that reside in Ghana right now.
Okay. And so that's like, these meetings are about how many people coming?
People are virtual, so it grows. So our founders are still alive. We had a birthday party for one of them this past Sunday, because we had first Sunday celebration. We have a cookout, we barbecue, we play spades, we play bid whiz. Like, we home. We gotta bring home. So first Sunday is the party, third Sunday is the meeting, right? But we still celebrate our founders. They're there with us. They're our elders. I just was honored to be elected the vice president. And then I serve under Diallo Sumbry, which is the godson of the year of return. So we're both from DC in the East Coast area. And it's just really cool to be in a new movement, not only of AAAG, but of us coming home and figuring out where we belong in this puzzle. And it's very important that we, go ahead. And that we unite and organize, you know, that we talk. There is a home, that you have a home base in Ghana. You're not by yourself. You may feel like, oh, this is home, but I don't know anybody. No, you come there, you're going to find somebody from your city. You're going to find somebody who went to your school. You're going to find somebody there that kind of homes in. Otherwise, I mean, we eat soul food. We provide that soft landing that we need once we get to Africa, because we need to, hey, what's going on? What is this? Because with life, certain things happen in Ghana, we are in Africa. You need to call it, hey, I got a question. And you need someone who understands your language, right? And your expectations on the other end. So we are delighted to serve all of those people that are visiting, thinking about relocating. AAAG is that place of resource for our people. So membership.
Well, I am so excited. The light. This is my first time hearing about the organization, and I'm already like, okay, but I'll be connecting with y'all the moment my feet hit the ground. I heard you say that you were coming on the live from Johannesburg. I was able to be in Johannesburg a few years ago. BET was having an event there, and that's what I want us here in America to know. Our major corporations are going to Africa and doing big things, while we're sitting over here thinking, oh, we got it all here in America.
600 American companies in this country alone. I've been here on business as well. Again, I'm in genetics, so it's a big conference in Cape Town. And just seeing, this is little America. South Africa is not your average Africa. Let's get that clear. If you're coming to Africa, if you are of the enslaved ancestry, right, from home, from wherever you are in the States, go to Ghana first. Go to West Africa first. Go to wherever your root is or you think it is, because it's not South Africa. South Africa is beautiful. It's a wonderful place to get stamped in your passport, but our root, our African desire comes from West Africa. So it's a very important point, because we just don't know. We were talking to Dave Chappelle when he was just in Ghana with Chance the Rapper not too long ago, and Dave was like, yo, sis, I just didn't know. And I was like, we don't know. And that's kind of, no one gives us, and it's not a conversation for Africa to give back, but we need it, right? So we go to South Africa and run here because it's so familiar to America, but that's
That's right. And I'm so glad you said that, because I think I don't know what God is doing in me that's calling me like to even, want to do this, have the connections there, and God is yet sending the resources and sending the people who are helping me connect. But I'm like, okay, Lord, if you want to use my platform to get this word out to like Because my
Yeah,
parents thought I was
mine did
crazy
too.
going to
Until
Ghana.
I hosted them to come visit. After the second year, I was like, look, so y'all don't think I'm over there. It's not that I got a man I'm running to. No, it's just peace of mind. Okay? Like, it's okay. I'm not tripping, right? So I hosted them, and then they realized we're walking through the streets, and they're like, Adrienne, that's my sister. And everybody, my father's like, how do these people know you? And I'm like, they
know you.
And since then, they were like, it is what it is. So I just want to encourage others. Also, we're doing more children and family trips, because not only the adults, yeah, we party hard in December. Don't get it twisted, it goes down. But it's important that we really use this as a cultural moment, that we explore our history in a new way, where we're teaching our people at a younger age what the truth is, and not really just from telling them or reading a book or seeing a movie, but getting a passport, going to see it, experiencing it, because that's how other people educate their people. And that's where our exposure level is way too low for our kids, and it's one of such issues in the community because we're not rooted. And again, you don't have to love it, you don't have to like it, you don't have to move, you don't have to ever come back. but you need to know. You need to put your feet on the ground and say, all right, I've done it, I've seen it, I got it. And then pass that down. Let that be a new thing that we do generationally. When you go down the country, everybody know about going down the country. My country's called Pepper, Virginia, where the red clay is red, okay? So everybody, my children and children's children will know the country, and then also know Ghana. I did my African ancestry roots and found that I was genetically Ashanti. That's what brought me to Ghana, because I wanted to know. I didn't believe it. I was like, I'm a geneticist. I need to see this. So I went.
No, when I was in Botswana, I looked around and said, okay, I'm from here. Because everybody walking down the street, we got the same DNA, clearly.
Once I landed, I called back home. I was like, I'm the first to say, I seen it. I believe it. We should check it out more, So we have entrepreneurs there. So many different opportunities. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have a brand, if you have a company, if you have an idea, hello, we got lots of great ideas, and it's hard to get it out sometimes in America. I know it's the race, it's a rat. You can't get off to think. You know what I mean? Let alone get off to roll out.
Just trying to,
you know what I mean? So it's hard, and sometimes you need that getting off the grid to think clearer. We have a program called the House of Diaspora, and it's a place where we just do all American services for our people. You need your hair dyed, you need your locks twisted. They don't know about all the sister lock techniques and things yet down there, so we got to give them what we need, Soul food, we have soul food Sundays, we have Black History movie nights out, we have a med spa, a barbershop, we have a cigar lounge, all in one spot. And you go in there, you watching the Cosby Show, because I still rock with the Cosby Show in a different world. Sorry.
Okay. I'll be there soon. I'll be there sooner than I think. And I've literally said it to every woman as we celebrate International Women's Day. And I just want to extend the invitation to you too. I'm coming back to Ghana. We're doing some kind of conference, symposium. I don't know how it's going to be, but I need you in the room. This is your live and in person call that we need you. We need what you're connected to so that we can be educated about who we are, where we're from, how to do it, how it goes, so we can stop taking this textbook that we knew wasn't the whole truth anyway, and get down to who we are in this world. You know what I mean? Get back to the basics. So thank you for your time, your energy. Thank you for being courageous. Thank you for all the genetic work you're doing. I just thank you for being you. It's really a blessing to see people that look just like me doing big things. You know what I'm saying? When you hear, I'm in genetic, it usually don't look like us. It usually is nothing like me that would say those things.
I was proud. I stood up and asked my questions.
I'm and thank you, because you represent all of us while you're shining in that way. So thank you so much. And I will be connecting with Triple AG the moment I'm on my way back. I'm gonna connect with y'all before I even get there, say I'm coming, so that you know. But thank you for your time today. Today has been phenomenal. I can't thank you enough. Everybody, Clap it up for my girl, Adrienne.
International
Thank you.
Women's Day. Thanks for having me, everybody. Let's get into our root. Let's get deeper. Let's save our people. Reconnect. See y'all in Ghana, man.
Hey, come on. Okay, you guys, this don't get no better. I think I have introduced and spoken with everybody on our list today. I'm looking at my producers to tell me if we are, have we connected with everybody? Did we get everybody we were looking to get? We together, this is a testimony right now.
Yeah.
We cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
Where there is a will, there is a way. Do you understand the sound of my voice? This computer thing would not work. And we said, you know what? We're going to try it this way, that way, this way, another way. But what we will not do is give up. Hello.
Hi.
It's so good to see your beautiful face. Thank you for your yes today.
Same here, darling. Please, for the sake of my fans, I want you to introduce yourself to them.
I am Brely Evans, actress, singer, songwriter, producer, director here in I'm from Los Angeles, Atlanta. We are here. My company is called Water Walkers Worldwide. And we want to be a force in bringing back the sisterhood of the Africans that are in America, because I don't call myself an African American anymore. I'm an African that lives in America. And, you know, we're in the diaspora. And for those that are on the continent, we've heard this over and over the years, bridge the gap, bridge the gap. But I don't find the bridge. I couldn't find the bridge. Where's the bridge? I don't see the bridge. I try to speak with my accent. I don't see it. Okay. So I said, you know, I'm going to take it into my own hands with some dear friends and my producers of the Bond that helped me bring this day together so that I can connect with you guys as sisters and we can really begin to put our feet to the ground in our know-how so we can have more television shows and more movies together. Bring you to America to have you perform here. Bring me back to Ghana. I have to always give it up to iFactory, who brought me to Ghana to do the movie Single Not Searching. So grateful that we can use our gifts and make us sisters. Yes. So thank you for having me on your live on International.
And thank you too. And I want to say happy International Women's Day to you, to myself, and to every woman in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the only way that we close the gap, you know, by saying, you know what, sister, I want to support you. How can I support you? And that's my first question. How can I support you?
Well, many times as an actress, when you go to interviews, the first question is, Emelia, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Yes.
I want to see myself in Hollywood.
Okay.
So how can you help me to do that?
Well, because I am an international actress since I've done the movie there. I am a producer at heart. I'm forever creating, you know, new opportunities. And I think now all we need, I was just talking to some of the other ladies, is we need other women who can greenlight us. I would love for our films and our stories to be greenlit because we have a story about not knowing each other, you know, or about how we can find out culture through, you know, film and television. I need to know like your culture because, you know, mine was taken away from me. I don't really, you know, I have an American culture, but that's all I have. So that's how we can help each other, is the exchange. I definitely want to get you guys here. And I want to dispel some of the differences. People think that it's so different. It's so different. It's actually really a lot the same. Tell me this. What's your biggest challenge in achieving success in the entertainment industry there in Ghana?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, it's scandal. Yeah, it's scandal because you just wake up one day and you know that your name is all over, your face is all over the world as an actress, and people are hailing you, people are telling you about the good works that you are doing, inspiring them and all that. And the next minute you wake up and you hear a bad news about you, that you think that, oh my God, my career is coming to an end. And your family, your friends, your fans, they are all worrying. And I would say that that is where my turning point starts. What do I do? Should I stop acting or I should continue? So I would say scandal it has been my biggest challenge, because sometimes I don't know whether I should thrive or I should just stay back and stop following my dreams. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You have to keep pushing forward, right? Because you push forward, you create you're paving the way for the young ones behind you that are like, I want to do it too. I want to follow in your footsteps. And no matter what people say, we have to remember they're simply people. They stink up a bathroom just like anybody else. and they can talk and say all
They
the
have
things
the same blood running through their veins.
Same blood running through their veins. There's no one more special than the other. We are all the same. And because we are all the same, there's going to always be, the negativity. There are always going to be those things. But I know God, and God says that he will take all things and he will make them for your good. So it is good. I love a scandal. I love a good scandal. Great. Because you know what? You're still saying my name. Keep talking.
Challenge. That is my challenge.
I want you to take that. You say, yeah, keep saying my name. Say all the things you want to say. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be clear soon. It's okay. It's okay. Because God has something. That, to me, that's like the other force is trying to get you out of it, because they know how powerful you are. Because you're so powerful, you have to push through and say, it doesn't matter what you say about me, because, God has put my name in Atlanta. God has my name in Dallas. God has my name all over America. And it doesn't matter what you say about me, it doesn't matter, because he has great things in store for me. And my sisters are looking out for me that are across the water. So I want you to know you are supported and you are loved. So we love Scandal. Say her name. Say her name.
Emelia Brobbey, I love the scandal.
That's right.
Okay, so tell me this: how do you manage your scandal in America? How do you do that?
In America, we hear people thrive off of what we call tabloids. They thrive off of it. But again, our managers and our agents always tell us, if they're talking, then that's a good thing, because you have the opportunity now, when the light is shining on you, now you can say something that's going to inspire so many, because the light is on you. So the opportunity when something like that happens is, what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to hide and shame or do whatever? Or are you going to stand up and stand for something? Because whatever is going on, you can find positivity in it no matter what. So it's like, hey, say my name if you want to. I want you to say my name if you want to, because I'm not going to run and hide. See, that's why they don't talk about me, because they know I got a big they're like, that girl got a big mouth.
I get the inspiration from the younger ones as well, because they ask me, Emelia, I want to be your role model. And that inspires me. I'm like, okay, so what I'm doing is actually educating.
Yes.
I mean, entertaining somebody, is inspiring somebody. So why don't I keep pushing and work so hard? Because I know that working hard is compulsory. You don't have an excuse. That is, if you want to reach a higher height, you need to work hard and you need to improve upon your skills. So when they tell me you are my role model, I'm like, okay, so I'm impacting something positively in their life. So why don't I focus there? And that is what keeps me going.
I love that. Well, for some of the American audience that's watching you right now, tell us about, how did you come into being an actress? Did you study acting, or did it find you, or someone give you a chance?
Okay, so I was a professional teacher.
What?
Yeah, and I love acting whilst I was a child, but I didn't get the opportunity to enter into any drama troupe or a film company or something. So I just saw people by the roads, a group of actors, and I was just bold enough. So I just want to take the opportunity to tell the younger ones watching me that if you have a dream, you focus and you push it. You have to be confident. I was so confident that I walked over to a gentleman. I said, I want to join your acting group. He says, why not? You can come. So whilst I was teaching, I was still going for rehearsals. And guess what? My first auditioning landed me a role. So at some point, so at
That's
some
awesome.
point, I have to quit the teaching, because in Ghana, if you have a teaching certificate and you stop teaching, even after 10 years, 20 years, you still want to go to the classroom, you can get your certificate and go back and teach.
Nice.
And I know that acting also is a way of teaching people. So
That's right.
I'm in the same circles anyways. So I went for the first audition, and after the audition, I got a role. I'm like, okay, bye-bye acting, bye-bye teaching. I'm now into acting. So that is how it started. And I wouldn't say I suffered much, because I was willing to do it. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And I love that you said that teaching is just like acting, because the stories we tell shape the minds of our viewers. Yeah. All the audience on, all the platforms that are watching us, we're telling these stories and they're saying, yeah, I believe that. Or no, I don't believe that. Like, but we're giving them stories to tell. Tell us some of the stories that you hope to play coming up soon.
Well, to be a widow.
Ooh.
Yeah. The reason is that in Ghana, when you hear the stories of widows, you will just pity them and you just wish that you can reach out to help them. Most of the time, when we are doing charity works, we either do it with people, with children in the orphanage or widows. Why? Because in Ghana, they are the most people that need comfort.
Yes.
The most, that the society don't really pay attention to them. So I wish there will be a story that I can play that role, so at least I can put a smile on faces of widows in Ghana.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Okay, now you're getting my creative things going, because what a good story. What a good story that could be. Wow, wow, wow. That's really, really good. I hope my writers are listening. We need widow stories. We have actresses. Let's go. Let's go. So when you were, just starting out and you got the first role or whatever, and you begin to climb and climb and climb, then you looked around and said, there's not many women in this industry. And so tell me what International Women's Day means to you, being that, there's not many women at the forefront of the entertainment industry there in Ghana.
Women, it means so much to me. It's something precious. I mean, there should be a day like today, so that we will see how special we are, how powerful we are. We need to come together, empower ourselves. We need to love one another. We don't need to push our backs. We don't need to fight. We should love one another. We shouldn't come together by becoming enemies, but rather come together to empower one another. We should be courageous. When a woman walks to you and says, I want to be like you, don't push the person away. Don't look down upon the person. I mean, encourage her so that she can become like you one day, because we should be there for each other. And I think even God says that love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yes.
And sometimes a lot of girls complain to me, Emelia, why are you so calm? Why are you so welcoming? When you welcome somebody who wants to be like you, it doesn't mean the person is coming to push you away and take your position.
They can't. They cannot.
They can't.
That's what I was saying.
We have individual differences. We have individual differences. So why don't you encourage and push the person so that women can become one and we can be happy after all?
And that makes so much sense to me. I remember I'm a curvy girl actress here in America. And so I represent the full figure girls. And so one day there was a role that I couldn't do because I was on another film. And so the casting director said to me, oh, I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I have another opportunity. I have to go and do this other film. And he was like, so like, oh, you know, how's he going to find someone else? But I knew someone who had my same body shape. So I said, hey, I have this girl. She was so wonderful in that role.
Wow.
He began to work with her for years afterwards. And he came back to me and he said, Brely, why would you bring another actress, excuse me, that looks like you? And I said, she can never be me. I can never be her. And what God has for me is for me. She cannot take it. So it's okay that I introduce new people. It's okay that I do these lives and introduce 9 new actresses to America. I get choking.
Thank you so much. You are amazing. You are amazing. I know that by giving somebody a chance, God takes you to another level, but people don't know. So today being International Women's Day, I want to urge people who have higher platforms to encourage the younger ones, come together, empower them, and build them up so that women, we can become one and love each other.
This is what it's all about. This, and I've said it to all the women, I'll say it to you. This is your personal invitation so that we can take this higher. We did a live today, but now we need to be live and in person. I want to come to Ghana, and we're going to do a conference, a symposium, so that we can get in action on these things. We can turn the cameras on and get to do our craft and telling these stories. I can't wait to do this widow. We're doing this one together. We're doing the widow movie together. And
Thank you so much.
Here, and we're going to have productions here for you to come and give your gifting here too. So this is just the start, just the beginning. I cannot thank you enough for your yes today.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Please do me a favor and save this live so people can come back and watch it, because I want screen record and bring it to my page too, so we can all just keep this thing going. So we'll get it from your page. But thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
This thing. Bye now. Okay, let me see. See you guys. Hey, everybody. Okay.